Hey guys, what's up? It's Dean with Manful Yoga. So today I am working with Destination Fit to help bring you another Manful Yoga session. With me I have 3 instructors from Black Swan Yoga, starting with Adam on my left, Erica, and then on my right, Madeline. It's a full body workout, so we're getting a lot into lower body endurance as always. A lot of core stuff, a lot of strengthening, a lot of deepening, lengthening the muscles, and then this is all going to culminate in a forearm stand. Let's start on the ground, on your back. Bring your knees just above your hips. Toes flex toward you initially, and then bring your head and neck off the ground. Interlace your fingers behind the base of your head. Extend the right foot forward, point the toes, bring your right elbow to your left knee. Reach the left shoulder a little higher off the ground, and really press your lower back into the ground. Switch legs. Left toes point. Press the lower back into the ground. Lift your right shoulder a little bit higher. Switch legs. Again, point the toes, lower back into the ground, lift the shoulders up a little bit higher. Switch legs. Make sure that you're using your core strength here, not your hands, to hold your neck up. Switch legs. One more to each side. Lift up a little bit higher. Switch. Nice. And then switch legs and extend your left foot all the way up this time. So lock the leg out. So if you're bent, you're wrong. Lock it out. Take it as high or as low as you need to. Right elbow, left knee. Switch legs. Lock it out. Left elbow toward your right knee. A little higher. Switch. Toes point. Left shoulder a little higher off the ground. Switch. Madeline, straighten your leg. There you go. Switch. Nice. One more. Switch. Good. And then bring your knees into your chest. From here we're going to roll up and down, come into a standing position, and we're going to get started. So after that nice core warm up, roll up all the way, come to the top of your mat, come to your mountain pose. So basic pose, right? Toes touching. Heels about an inch apart, legs nice and engaged, internal rotation of the legs, core draws under your body, chest lifts, shoulders relax. All right? Palms face forward. Think about this pose. This applies to every pose that we do. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Inhale, Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Relax your knees, hinge at the hips, look behind you. Inhale up to a flat back. Neck reaches forward, no wrinkles in the neck. Good. Forward fold, and then step your right foot to the back of the mat. So coming into a low lunge here. Knee lowers, back foot untucks. And then we're gonna make this an active stretch. So pull your right knee toward your left ankle, press up through your left foot, and again, that little pelvic tilt to bring your butt slightly under your body and engage the core. Get tall through your chest. Inhale, lift your arms up. And then exhale, release your arms so that your shoulders are relaxed. Palms face back. If you have the luxury of a mirror, you can check and make sure that you're straight. Yeah, you guys look good. All right, staying here, working on the hip flexor, so really pulling the right hip flexor forward. Nice job, Madeline. Good, pressing up through the left foot. All right, and then release your hands down. Frame your front foot. Walk your left foot forward a few inches. And then shift your hips back. Flex the toes toward your face. Really engage the quad here. So squeezing your left leg, squeezing your toes toward your face, and then you want to shift your left hip back or right hip forward to even out. The tendency here is for the left hip to be really forward, so pull it back in. And then if you squeeze your core, you'll notice that you can squeeze in a little bit more, lengthen the lower spine, right? Nice. So opening up the hamstring here, the lower back, the half, cracking a little bit. All right, and bend back into the front knee. Bring the ankle back under the knee. Tuck your toes. Actually scratch that. Keep your toes untucked. Inhale, lift your arms up. And then coming into a little back bend here. Reach your chest up, ribs in, look up at the ceiling. Imagine that you're setting your heart down on top of your shoulder blades. Nice. So we're extending. Imagine that you're pressing into something with your fingers as you're doing this back bend. So you're not just crunching into your back, right? And then from here, forward fold, release your hands all the way down. Tuck your toes, straighten the back leg, lift the hips up, chest off your thigh, fingertips on the ground here. See if you can relax your hips. So the deeper you can get your hips while keeping a straight leg, the better this will be, right? So Adam here can relax his hips a little bit. All right. There we go. Back leg stays straight. So you get a little deeper to the hip flexor there. And then extend your left hand up, coming into a low lunge twist. So stacking your left hand, your left arm on top of your right arm, and then draw your neck forward, just like I was pulling your head forward to lengthen the neck. And then look up at your left hand. Yeah, just like that. Make sure the hips are in here, so the right hip's actually going to raise up a little bit here. Nice. So you're even. And then lower the hand back down. Step your right foot, meet your left foot, forward fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up, palms touch, look up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down, release. Look behind you, relax your head and neck. Inhale up to a flat back. Head lengthens forward. No curve in the lower back. And then release down, step your left foot to the back. Come into a lunge on the opposite side. Squeeze your right foot toward your left ankle, and then press up through your right knee. So pressing up through the right foot. Some people like to do a little bit of a different variation here, so I really focus on making this an active stretch by squeezing the legs toward one another and really pressing up through the right foot here, in this case the front leg, to make this more active, to make both sides engaged in the legs, so you're actually scissoring your legs, instead of just kind of dumping forward and working on hip flexibility like that, right? So we're strengthening. Inhale your arms up, palms face the back. Yeah, good. All right, then here, lower your hands down. Walk your, here we go. All right, walk your right foot forward, and then flex the toes back toward your face. Straighten the right leg, plug your right hip into your right leg into your right hip. So you'll notice that you can actually look down at your stomach here, and if you see that one side is more forward, just fix it. The tendency here is, again, for the front leg to be forward. Pull it back, pull the back hip forward. And then squeeze your core. Yeah, they're already doing it. I don't even need to tell them. And release a little bit by engaging the core. You can rest your palms or your fingertips on the ground to help with the stretch. And then bend back into the front knee. Bring the ankle under the knee. Tuck the back toes, straighten the back leg, come up into a runner's lunge here. Good. Yeah, so again, the left hip is going to lengthen a little bit here. Draw up the right hip, lowers. The hips in general lower here. You can always go a little bit deeper than you think you can, but you just need to make sure that the back leg is straight here, right? So that knee is lifting off the ground. And lower your hips down a little bit. Nice job. All right, and then lift your right hand up, coming into the low lunge with a twist. Reaching the head forward, lengthening the neck, and then stacking your arms, looking up at your right hand. Keeping the back leg strong. Good. And then lower your hand down, step your left foot up to meet your right foot. Forward fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up, palms touch, look up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale for flat back. Lower your hands down, step or jump your feet to the back of the mat. If you jump, make sure you land with the bend in the elbows. Stack your shoulders over your hands here. You always have the option to take the knees down if you want. We're going to do 10 chaturanga push-ups here, so 10 push-ups. Keep your inner elbows facing forward. Good, and then lower down halfway. Make sure the shoulders don't pass your elbows. Nice job. Back up. Lower down. Back up. Good, lower down. Back up, so I'm just going to show you what it looked like on Adam. Lower down. So if I had a block right here, let's see right now, here, it's not going to go any further than that. Back up. And then down. Alright, so shoulders, even with elbows, back up. I think that's like 8, maybe 9, something like that. Back up. Last one, halfway. Lower your knees down, lower your chest to the mat. Hands under your shoulders, Reach your feet all the way back, press the tops of your toes into the ground, and then lift your chest off the ground, coming into cobra. Keep your neck relaxed, so if you're looking up, relax. Good. And then release down. Press the tops of your toes, sorry, not the tops of your toes, but tuck your toes now. Lift your hips off the ground, squeeze your thighs, press back up into plank in a nice fluid motion, and then come back into down dog. So first down dog of the day. Working on a lot of different things here. For now, we'll focus on pressing into the webbing between the index and the thumb finger here. And then reaching the hips up and back. Good. Pressing the heels toward the ground. And then reach your chest toward your legs. Nice. So getting that length in the lower back. All right, from here, inhale the right leg up. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Press into your hands around your back. So get tall. Maybe come even to the big toe. Inhale back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back up. Exhale, knee to your left elbow. I'm going to cross your body. Make sure that you're keeping even in your shoulders though. So lift the right shoulder up a little bit high. Nice. Inhale back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back up. Exhale, this time bring it all the way forward. Plant it down. Bring your chest off your thigh. So lift up. Good. So coming to your fingertips. Maybe not even needing your fingertips here. And then gather the strength of your core. Imagine you're doing a crunch. And then lift your arms up overhead. Come into a crescent lunge or a high lunge. So reach your tailbone down. A little pelvic tilt to engage your core and lengthen your back. Arms are up, palms face back. We're going to sit here for a few breaths, just working into the strength of the pose. So the way yoga works, we build into the pose. We get more flexible by staying in the pose for a long time. So every breath, maybe every exhale, go just a little bit lower, maybe a millimeter, maybe a centimeter, but you're building into that pose. You're working into it. All right. From here, lower the hands down. Frame your front foot, and then bring your left foot off the ground. Bring the weight into your hands and your right foot. Lift your left heel toward the ceiling. Keep the legs straight, locked out. Pressing the heel back, lifting up, toes flexed toward you. Good. Make sure the hips are even, so the left hip lowers, the right hip rises. Raises. Good. One more breath. And then step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. Forward fold. Bring your knees together. Inhale up into a chair pose. So biceps framing your ears, chest reaching up at the same time, butt drawing onto your body to engage the core. Nice. Sit down a little lower. Just one breath here. And then stand up all the way, bring your hands back to your center. Nice. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Release the head and neck, look behind you. Inhale up to a flat back, neck reaches forward. Exhale, lower your hands down, step or jump your feet to the back of the mat, landing if you need to with bent arms. Stack your shoulders over your hands. Inner elbows face forward, lower down halfway. Lower your knees down, lower down all the way. Reach the feet back, tops of toes into the ground. Squeeze your thighs so that your knees come off the ground. Lift up into cobra. Neck is relaxed. Lower down. Tuck the toes. Straighten the legs. Lift your hips off the ground. Press back up into plank. Move back into down dog. So one other thing to keep in mind here is this external rotation of the arms. The biceps coming face forward. Yes, nice job. And then again, the hands pressing into the index and the thumb finger especially. Good. Feet can be anywhere from 3 to 7 inches apart. Nice job. All right. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Round the back. Press into your hands. Relax your head and neck so you're looking at your right foot. Inhale back up. Exhale, knee to your nose. Squeeze it in. Come to balance on your big toe if you can. Yes, nice. Inhale back up. Exhale, knee to your right elbow. Make sure that your shoulders are even here. So you dip into your Left shoulder or right shoulder, pull it back up. Inhale back up. Toes flex toward your face, heel pressing away. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale back up. Exhale, bring it all the way forward. Plant it down. Look up. Bring your chest off your thigh. Fingertips raised on the ground. Gather the strength of your core so that little pelvic tilt. Do it now. Inhale your arms up, come into a high lunge. And then while you're here, you need to make sure that the right hip's going forward slightly, left hip comes back, then out. Bend forward into the front knees of the knee. It's over the ankle. Yes. Great job. And then you want to take the arch out of your back as much as possible. So bring your shoulders directly over your hips. Working 3 more breaths here, so getting really deep into this, right? So that we can get deeper into the pose, get more flexibility. Arms are reaching back, feeling your bull muscles start to engage, start to work. And then lower your hands down, frame your front foot. Lift your right foot up and back, come to balance on your left foot and your 2 hands. Relax your head and neck so that you're looking at your back toes. Make sure that the toes are facing the ground, so the tendency is for most people to really want to externally rotate here. Keep it internally rotated, so the toes facing straight down. Good. So you can lift up a little bit higher. Nice job. And then lower your right foot to meet your left foot. Forward fold. Inhale up into chair pose, reach up. Biceps back, framing your ears. Chest lifted, and then sit down a little lower. Look down, make sure that you can see your toes. Good, so the knees will draw back, weight in the heels. 1 more breath. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Almost touch. Nice. Recover your breath if you need to. High 5 more. Awesome. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale up halfway. Neck lengthens. Feel the lower back stretch, just appreciate it. And then lower down, step your feet back to plank. Nice. Lower down halfway. Shoulders don't pass your elbows. Core stays engaged, so lift your belly button a little higher. Lower your knees down, lower your chest. Walk your toes back. Press the tops of your toes into the ground. Lift your chest off the ground. Neck is relaxed. Down, look about 6 inches in front of you. Good. Nice job. And then lower all the way down. Tuck the toes. Come up and back into down dog. Nice job. All right, so now moving on to the other stuff. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, bring it all the way forward. Plant it down. Lift your chest up. Come into a crescent lunge. And moving into some more balance up. Bring your hands to your chest. Bring your upper body forward so that you're making a perfect line from your heel to your head. And then lift your left foot off the ground, maybe drag it forward, really making this controlled. And then straighten your front leg and come into airplane. So the right is going to lift up here, the left hip sets down a little bit to even out. Good. And then if you want to take it to the next level, bring your chest down a little bit lower, point your toes toward the back, extend your hands forward, moving into Warrior 3. Good. So you're going to imagine that something is pressing. Put your hands, squeeze my hands together. So those arms are active too. It's not just a leg stretch. Good. Go a little bit more forward. Kick the toes back. 1 more breath. Nice job. And then step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. And then sit back down in the chair pose. So working again on the lower body endurance. A lot of that. Lift your arms back. Chest up, like someone's drawing a string in your chest up, or keeping your core engaged, drawing that down, that little pelvic tilt. Sit down a little lower, make sure you can see your toes, and then stand up all the way, hands back to your center. Nice job. And you have 2 sides. So the next side, inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Bend at the knees, hinge at the hips. Relax the head and neck. Inhale, flat back. Neck elongates. Exhale, forward fold. Step your feet to the back or jump. Just make sure you land with that little bend to protect your elbows, protect your shoulders, or do what Adam did, which is awesome. And then lower down halfway. Keep your elbows in. And then lower your knees down all the way. Lower your chest. Inhale up into cobra. So squeezing your shoulder blades together here, lifting your head, but keeping your neck relaxed. And then lower down. Tuck the toes. Straighten the legs, engage the thighs, lift your hips off the ground, press up into plank, and back into down dog. So again, here, people have a tendency to forget about that upper rotation, about that the rotation of the arms here. So biceps start to face forward, and this really engages the push-up muscles. I'm sweating all over you. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna sorry. So again, little rotation here, external rotation of the arms to engage the lats. Engage the pull-up muscles. And then inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bring the left foot forward, plant it down between your hands. Back leg straighten, heel presses back, lift your chest off your thigh. Inhale all the way up into crescent lunge. Still keeping the back leg nice, straight and strong. Right hip pulling forward, left hip back, straightening out. Bring your hands to your chest. Bow forward. Making a perfect line from your heel to your head, and then launching forward onto your left foot. Balance on your left foot, flex the toes toward your face. Keep your chest above your hips. This is stop one. The next stop, point your toes toward the back. Lower your chest a little bit, extend your hands forward, moving into warrior three. So make sure that you're parallel to the ground here, making a capital T with your body. And the big tendency here is for the right hip to rise. So you're doing it perfect, Erica, but lift it up like most beginners would do. She can't even do it wrong. And then lower the right leg, right? So it's even. One more breath. And then lower your hands down. Reach your right foot forward to meet your left foot. Rise up into chair pose one last time. Biceps toward your head. Make sure you can see your toes. Yeah, so the weight is in the heels now. Lift up a little bit higher. Sit down a little lower, so find your edge here. And stand up all the way. Turn your toes in slightly, so your toes are closer than your heels. Squeeze your legs together. So you're drawing and think that you're squeezing your legs towards something in the middle of your legs, right? Bring your arms out to the side, parallel to the ground. Engage your arms, so flex your muscles, right? If you don't know what that feels like, have someone pressing your hands here. Press the hands. Now the muscles are engaged, right? And then plug your shoulder blades together. Yes. So drawing the shoulder blades toward one another. Big inhale here. And then exhale, forward fold. Keep your back as flat as you can. Keep your legs squeezing together. Keep the quads engaged here. You want to not hear the crack in your legs when you go down. It happens sometimes, but anyways. Lower your hands down. Relax your head and neck. Walk your left hand to the middle of the mat. And then reach your right hand up. Extend your chest forward just like you would do in Cobra. Squeezing your core toward the ground, lifting your chest up. Right hand extends up, palm toward the sky. Tendency here is for the left knee to bend, so make sure that you're pressing down very hard in the left leg here. Awesome job. Lower your hand back down. Walk your hands around to the front of the mat, come into a low lunge. Inhale your arms up, come into crescent lunge. Bring your hands to your center, open up into warrior two. So moving into, from the internal rotation to the external rotation to the hip. So thinking about externally rotating this leg out with the knee stacks on the ankle, pressing into the back foot. So if you look here, you can see, let's see here, thank you lights, but you can see the shadow in his foot, right? So we're pressing down hard to the outside of the foot here, keeping the weight equally distributed in both tendons in the leg, all the tendons. And then the left hip here is going to roll back slightly, externally rotate, right? So everything's facing the left side of the rope. Then we flip the front hand, reach it up and back, come into reverse warrior, really extend up. So don't just dump into your side, but reach up, create length. Make sure that the front knee doesn't come back, so if it does, focus forward, reach it back out to the right. Bring it back to warrior two. Surf your hands forward, keep your arms parallel to the ground, and then bring the outside of your right wrist to the inside of your right knee. Lift your left hand up, coming into side ankle pose. press into my hand. Yeah. And then plug your arm to your shoulder. Yes. So the arm is fully extended, but the arms are plugged into the shoulder at the same time. So you feel your shoulder blades start to compress. And then press your core forward. So Madeline's doing a great job of this. So she's pressing her core forward so her butt isn't back here. It's forward. Yep. Awesome job. And then bring it back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. If you're feeling like you're a little unstable in the hamstring, you can step your left foot up just a little bit. So not as much pressure here. Keep the right leg really strong. So squeeze the right quad, press down through all 5 toes in your right foot. Circle your arms forward once more, and then poke your hips toward the back. So bringing your left hip under your right hip, or right hip under your left hip, and then rotating 90 degrees. You can press your right hand into the inside of the calf here. Just make sure you're not resting your hand here. Left hand extends, and then the left shoulder rolls back. Head lengthens, and then look up at your left hand. These guys are all doing it very well. And then bring it back to center. And from here, step your right foot up against your left foot, or left foot up against your right foot. Back to center. Cool. From here, coming to the opposite side, so drop your right foot to the back of the mat now. And again, toes face somewhat in. Squeeze your legs toward one another. Bring your arms out to the side. Plug your arms toward one another, so squeezing shoulder blades together. Arms are engaged, right? So if I'm pressing my hands. So our arms are engaged now. Inhale, lift the chest up. And then exhale, start to fold forward. Keep your back as flat as you can. If you can't keep your back flat here, bend into the knees. So give your hamstrings a little rest, right? And then release your hands down to the ground, release your head and neck. Maybe look behind you. I'm sure one of my lovely ladies can do this, but if you get to the point where you feel pretty flexible, you can lower your head all the way down to the ground. Maybe. Oh, everybody's now I'm gonna do it too. But if you're feeling it, you can go for that. Just make sure that your legs are strong here. So still squeezing my quads, still squeezing my legs in toward one another. And then lift your left hand up, bring your right hand to the middle. And then again, making sure that you're squeezing really hard through the muscles in your right leg to prevent the right leg from bending. One more breath here. Lengthen the neck, look up the left hand. Then lower the hand down. Walk your feet toward the front of the mat. Frame your foot with your hands. Come into a low lunge. Reach it up into a high lunge. Bring your hands to your center. Open up into warrior two. So making an 85-degree angle with your back foot. Left heel points directly to the arch in your right foot. Bend to the front knee. Stack the right knee, or so the left knee over the left ankle. And then draw your right hip back. And press into the outside of the back foot. Arms parallel to the ground. Good. So if you have the benefit of a mirror here, you can kind of silently look inside. A lot of people have a tendency to come forward or come back, so just draw it back. And it should actually get to the point where you feel like your chest is just floating there, right? Your lower body, your core is doing all the work. And then lift your arm up, reach it up into reverse warrior. Keep your back leg strong, so still pressing into the outside of the back foot, still bending into the front knee. Come back into warrior two. And then come to side angle, reaching your hands forward, bringing the outside of your left wrist to the inside of your left knee, and extending your right hand up. Rolling the right shoulder back. Nice job. Pressing my hand. So really opening up the chest, not just to the side, but also to the ceiling. Nice job. And the core squeezes forward, so bring the core toward me. Yes. So she's really working on opening up the hip. You can also press the hand into the knee here to open up even more. Nice job, guys. Bring it back to warrior two. Good. And straighten the front leg. If you need to, if you did it last time, walk your right foot up a little bit. Turn the toes in slightly. Engage the legs. Squeeze the quad. This is really important. And then poke your hips back, so stacking the right hip on top of the left hip. Surf your hands forward, 90 degrees. Right hand reaches up, left hand presses into the inside of the left leg. Keep this leg flexed the whole time. As soon as you release it, potential for injury there, so really watch that. Again, the same thing happens here as in side angle. The right shoulder rolls back. Nice job. Roll back a little bit more. Press my knee. Awesome job. All right. Bring your arms back to be parallel. And then here, straighten. Actually, we're already straight. So turn your fingers. I'm sorry, your fingers. Those are your toes. Turn your toes in. Bring your heels toward one another. We're going to move into haka pose. So I'm calling it haka pose. If you do yoga, there's no such thing as haka pose. But I made up this name because I like it a lot, and I think it's cool with the goddess horse. You ever seen the New Zealand rugby team? They do this war dance at the beginning of every game. You go, right? So this is similar to that. So heels are pointing in toward one another. Toes are facing out. Bring your hands into your chest just like this, and start to sit down low, pressing your knees out to the side, but bring your knees back at the same time. Hips pull forward. So your core engages, spine lengthens down, at the same time lift your chest up. So you're essentially stacking your shoulders on top of your hips here, right? So it's a straight line from here, the shoulders, awesome job. Now tensic is for, especially with males because they have less flexible hips, the knees to kind of come in, right? Adam's gonna keep it out though. So if you notice that you're coming to the dumping on the insides of your feet, make sure that you reach the knees out. Or you can get you can trim up your stance by pointing your toes a little more forward. Right? You guys have been here a while. We'll come out of this, straighten your legs, turn your toes to face the left side of the room, right side of the room now. Arms out to the side. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Reach down. Inhale, lift your chest up, and then forward fold. Excuse me. Keep your legs squeezing in. Keep your thighs engaged, relax your head and neck, look behind you. This is where shoulder flexibility really starts to happen, right? So the arms press together, palms press together. Madeline's got this. Obviously, it's a little harder for the guys. Adam is over here, and I know that he thinks that his arms are touching that wall over there. And I do too. But he's doing awesome anyways. Right, so that's really helping with opening up the shoulders. That looks really good. Make sure the head and neck are relaxed here, so you're not reaching up, right? And then from here, release your hands down to the ground. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold here. And then bring your hands to your hips. Use the strength of your core to stand up all the way. And then walk your feet back to the top of the mat. So moving into a couple of standing poses here. Bring your right foot off the ground. Squeeze your right foot toward your right butt. Inhale the left hand up. Bring your right hand behind. So notice how I'm gripping my foot here. A lot of people tend to grip it like this or even like this. Make sure that you're grabbing the inside of the foot, thumb facing down. Right. Pressing through the left foot. Again, left hand inhales, extends up. Reach the tailbone down. Knee is close to your other knee. Good. And then start to press into the back foot. And as you press into the back foot, reach the left hand forward. So coming into dancer pose here. Yeah, I didn't really tell the pose, so you guys probably just like, oh, yeah. You did it. Thank you guys. So all the power of this pose here, it comes from you pressing into your backhand of the foot. Your arm here is just along for the ride. You can also get the shoulder flexibility here by pulling the front shoulder, that back shoulder, the right shoulder forward. Lift your hands up a little bit higher. Reach. Feel the arch in your back here. And now I just have to do it just to prove that I can do it too. Alright, and then bring it back. But keep your leg off the ground. Bring your right knee forward to be hip level. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Extend your right hand back. Here's the fun part. If you have the hamstring flexibility for it, grab your big toe with your left foot, extend it forward, press down hard through the left foot. So this pose is called Dancing Shiva, and I just get so excited every time I call this pose out because it's called Dancing Shiva, right? It's awesome. Sit up a little bit straight if you can. Press down harder through the left foot. And then bring your hands back to center. Release your foot. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Moving back into a crescent lunge. Inhale, lift your chest forward. Exhale, come to a twist on the opposite side. So hooking your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Forming a straight line with your forearms. Opening your chest up to the left side of the room. Good, so the left shoulder rolls back. The neck lengthens. And then keep the right hip up here. So the tendency is for the right hip to kind of fall down, so keep the right foot up. Use your core strength here to come back to center. So lift up, come back to center. Lower your hands down. And then step your right foot up to meet your left foot. Forward fold. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. Palms touch. Look up. Exhale, bring your hands back to your chest. All right, so that was a fun balance pose. Moving on to the next side. Inhale your right hand up. Bring your left foot to your left foot. Now, grab the inside of your left foot. Hands face forward. Squeeze your knees toward one another. Lift your tailbone down. Reach your tailbone down to the ground so the core engages. Back is flat. Inhale, extend. Exhale, press hard through the left foot. Right hand starts to reach forward. Right foot pushes into the ground. Squeeze the quad really tight. Keep pressing hard through the back foot. Keep your right hand lifted. Feel the arch in your back. Really press down to the right foot. Squeeze the quad tight and lift up a little bit higher. So as the leg rises, so does the arm. 3, 2, 1. And then bring your left foot forward so that you're bringing your left knee level with your left hip. Good. Nice balance, guys. Bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Extend the left hand back, coming into dancing Shiva. Dancing Shiva. Right. And then press down to the right foot so you get taller. And then reach down. You can grab it. Go for it. But not just keep your hand on the knee and reach the left hand back. To work on balance even a little bit more, you can look back at the wall behind you. Adam, lift your hand a little bit higher. Nice job keeping your arms level. Great job. And then bring your hands back to center. Release the bind on your foot. And then step your left foot all the way to the back, coming into a crescent lunge once more. Inhale, lift your arms up. Or your hands off your chest. And then exhale, place the outside of your left knee, wrist, elbow, got it, on the outside of your right knee. Forearms are parallel to one another. Well, they're forming a line. I guess that's parallel. And then lift your left hip up a little bit higher. So the tendency is here again for the left hip to dip, the hip down, the dip down. So lift the left hip up a little higher. Nice job. Good. See if you can open up your chest a little bit more. Good. Neck lengthens. And then use your core strength here to lift your arms off. Reach your hands back down. Step your left foot up to meet your right foot. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. So we're going to do a little vinyasa here. Forward fold once more. Inhale, bring it all the way up, palms touch. Look up at the ceiling. Exhale, bring it all the way down, forward fold all the way. Hinge at the hips, bend at the knees. Look back behind you. Inhale up to a flat back. Forward fold and step your feet to the back of the mat, moving through part of the vinyasa. Stack your shoulders over your hands, inner elbows face forward, biceps face forward. Lower down halfway. Good. Shoulders don't pass the elbows. Core stays engaged, so lift your hips up a little higher. Nice. And then relax your knees, relax your chest. And then bring your right elbow, not right elbow, but your right cheek to the mat. Extend your hands back alongside you, palms facing up. Cool. So now we're going to do some back strengthening stuff. So the first pose we're going to do is Cobra. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Walk your feet back as far as you can. Press the tops of your toes into the ground. And if you have the benefit of someone to help you out here, have them bring your feet together, big toes touching, and actually have them press down all the way through their feet. Keep their feet touching the ground, thighs are engaged, the knees are lifted, and then inhale, lift the chest off the ground. Nice job. Keep the neck relaxed, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Nice job, elbows squeeze together. And then you can actually use your hands here to pull your chest forward a little bit more so get some more length, and then release your hands so you keep that length. Nice. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Bring whatever cheek you didn't have before to the mat. So the left cheek now. Good. Arms relaxed along your side, palms facing up. Take a breath here. I don't know if I'm going to do it. So take a breath here to recover. And then we're going to move into the second back strike there, which is also actually a pretty big back bend. So for this one, bring your hands back under your shoulders to start out with. Bring your feet toward your body. Look up. Bring your hands to the outside of your feet. Relax your face toward the mat. Bring your knees toward one another, so you don't want to sway out to the side. Keep them in. Big inhale here. On the next inhale, press up. Lift your chest off the ground. Press your feet back. Lengthen your neck away from your shoulders. Try to bring your toes to touch your head. So moving into bow pose here. Probably shouldn't be looking around while I'm doing this. Squeeze your knees together, lift up a little higher. And then release down. All right, from here, take one breath. And then move back into child's pose. So stacking your butt on top of your heels. Knees are wide. Mat width distance. Depends on what you're going for. If your knees are closer together, you get more relief for your lower back. If, as Madeline is doing right now, she has a little wider grip or a wider stance, she's going to get more relief for her hip flexors. Adam is taking a variation which is going to help him with lower back as well. So his shoulders are actually taken completely out of the equation here. All right, party time's over. Moving back into down dog. Plant your hands, reach it up and back. All right, here's the fun part. So I don't know if I can talk and do this, so I'm not going to. Lower your forearms down. I'm in a dolphin pose. Good, so shoulders stacked above the elbows here. This is a little harder for guys, just because they don't have the shoulder flexibility. They have a little bit more weight. Yes, so they're using blocks. That is definitely a big help. Walk your feet closer to your hands. 1 inch. Good. Reach your right foot up. Good. Toes flex toward your heel, presses away from you. Lifting. Good. Lower the right foot. Walk it forward 1 more inch. Lift your left foot up. Good. Ab straighten the leg if you can. Nice job. Awesome. Lower it down. Right foot forward. 1 more inch. Right foot up. Nice. Lower it down. Walk forward 1 more inch. Lift your left foot up. So it's really hard here. This is really taxing their shoulder endurance here. Really taxing hamstring flexibility. Lower back down. Walk your feet in 1 more inch and hold for 3, 2, 1. Release down. Come out of that. Come to your knees. Come to a little rest here. So you can sit your hips back on your heels. So now we're going to move into the peak pose, forearm stand. So I'm going to have Adam help me demo this. So he's actually going to use a block to do this. So one way to help you set up a forearm stand is to use that block to measure where exactly, you got it, right? So he's going to use the block to measure where exactly his arm's going to go. So the big tendency with most, especially guys when they do this, is to kind of exactly their arms splay out to the side, and it's because they don't have the flexibility. Now Adam is a seasoned yogi, so he'll be fine here. Arms are straight, parallel, in line with his shoulders. So come up in dolphin. Good, so he's using the block here, walking his feet up, and then I'll pretend like I'm spotting in here. So if you have a spotter, if you're lucky enough, which leg are you going to kick with?
I'm going to kick with my leg. I'm going to kick up with my right leg.
Okay, he's kicking up with the right leg. So I'm going to move over the way of that leg, because that leg is going to come up. So I'm going to stand here, squat down, make sure I have a really nice base. Get ready for them to kick up. Adam, whenever you're ready.
I'll count to 3.
Okay? 1, 2, 3. Alright, now you want to prevent him from falling forward. Now Adam's doing this great. Let's just pretend he's not. I'm going to grab his feet, put my fist between his calves, squeeze the calves, so he's got some support there. He's also activating his leg muscles while he's doing this. Everything is stacked perfectly, right? So his shoulders are over his elbows, his shoulders lead up to his hips. There's no arch in his back, or there's minimal arch in his back. And then if he's got all that, toes are going to be flexed towards face or pointed up, either or, choice of the practitioner. And then I'm going to let go here, keep squeezing together, and he got tired. But that was pretty good. Thank you, Adam. Okay, so you guys know how to do it with the spotter. Not want to show how to do it with the wall?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So Adam's going to, Madeline's going to use a wall for help.
Want me to use the wall?
Sure, let's do that. So if you're feeling unconfident about doing it unassisted and you want to use a wall, this is a great way to do it because if your feet go forward, they're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to go straight into the wall. So again, walking your feet forward, setting up for dolphin. Right? Figure out what foot she'll stick with. Tighten it, going up. She can also rest her feet there, and while she's resting her feet, she can also work on straightening out her spine. So the tendency is here for the chest to really open up here and arch the back, right? So while she's in this position, while she's got the support of the wall, she can bring her chest in, properly engage your core, lift your tailbone up, and straighten the back. And then from here, she can either come out, or if she wants, she can come up into the forearm stand from there. Hands shoulder width. Walking my feet forward, choosing the leg, picking up. Coming forward if I need to. Sometimes errors happen, right? I got really excited there. If you're coming forward, just try to roll as much as you can. If you have the back flexibility there, you can just land on your feet like I did. It won't hurt. But again, use a spotter when you can. It's better to fall backwards than forwards. Toes squeezing down, chest stacking, tailbone reaching up, feeling the flexibility in my shoulders start to work. Whenever ready to come out. So maybe you can in easily. Cool. Alright, so from here we're going to come into start our cool down reps. So we're going to start off with just a seated butterfly pose. This is good for the hip flexibility. This is good for, because we just did a nice kind of a back arch, so a back opener. This is going to help you out with just a counter pose for that. So bring your heels in as close as you can to your butt. Right, you can bring your hands either as Erica is doing. You can grab the insides or outside of the feet with your fingers, and then wrap the thumbs around, and then press the knees down as much as you can. Again, guys don't really have the flexibility. Madeline's just already touching her knees to the ground. Pretty easy. Adam, we're struggling.
We do our best.
We do our best, yeah. We do our best with what we're doing. But we have the advantage when it comes to actually doing more stands. And, well, actually not with you guys, but with upper body strength, we do have the advantage. So press the knees down, lift the chest up here. One way to do it, and then to get the counter pose from the inversion, just kind of let your upper body relax here. Keep squeezing, pressing your knees toward the ground, but let your head and neck relax so you start to feel your back start to get some relief. And here we're going to move into happy feet. So just kind of a fun transition here. So grab your big toes as you start. Grab the outsides of your feet with your hands, and then just roll back. I'm a happy baby. This is not going to be a great shot for the camera. I just realized that. So I'm going to roll over like this. Just talk to you upside down, I guess. But you're pulling your armpits toward your feet toward your armpits and pressing your feet into your hands at the same time. So you're feeling some nice hip flexibility going on here. There's some nice relief. And as I recently heard it in one of my yoga classes, it's your baby. You can do what you want with it. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, this is a great pose for working on just really easy hip flexibility, no pressure. Again, the only thing that you have to work against is gravity in your arms, so there's no way that you're going to injure anything here. Again, pulling the knees down toward your armpits, pressing into your feet at the same time. So if you have the flexibility for it, straighten your legs here. Yeah. So Adam, sometimes he tells me sometimes he has the flexibility for this, and sometimes he doesn't. So we'll see if he has it. If you're engaging your if you're engaging your quads all the way and keeping your calves flexed, keeping your toes flexed toward you, you should be able to roll up and land lightly on your calves instead of on your heels. If not, you're gonna hear this big click with your heels. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna try it out too. So it's gonna look something like this. We all have a great view right now, right? So you're rolling, landing. So into a nice little stretch here. Let's see, 1 success, 2 success. Adam took a variation. Oh, and there it is. All right, awesome. All right, so pulling your toes toward your face, pulling your chest forward, so you're feeling hamstring flexibility, you're feeling some nice lower back flexibility here. And you also might feel something in your shoulders if you're pulling hard enough. Chest forward, and then relax. Take a deep breath. Again, relax. So we're at the end of the workout. We're almost done. Madeline's just chilling on my mat. That's fine. We all share things, right? Alright. From here, just come back up to a sitting position. Bring your right foot forward. Bring your left foot over your right foot. Coming into, it's called half-ward of the fish. Half-ward of the fish, doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to call this, we call this rodeo when I used to play lacrosse, so I'm going to call it rodeo. Bring your left hand behind your back. Straighten your back as much as you can. These guys are like, rodeo, what's that? Inhale your right hand up, lift up, make your back as straight as possible, then exhale, bring your right hand over the outside of your left knee. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, squeeze all the air out, and then twist. So once your air cavity is empty, once your lungs are empty, you have a little bit more room in your body to actually twist, right? Inhale one more time. Exhale, twist. So one thing that I can do to actually help this get a little bit deeper, I can come up and I can support his back, and I can inhale, exhale, I can help him open up a little bit more as long as I'm keeping his back straight here. And then look back to center. Slowly come out of the pose. Alright. Moving into the opposite side. So bringing your right foot over the left foot now. Make sure that you're pressing your right foot down here. If you notice that your right big toe is starting to come off the ground, you kind of have to, the alternative is to kind of slump down a little bit. But as you do this more and more, you will get better at this. You'll feel the benefits more and more. Bring your right hand behind your back, press into the ground. Make sure that your right hip is touching the ground. So a lot of people like to kind of, in order to get up here, they'll bring their right hip off the ground. Make sure the hip is touching the ground. Inhale, lift your left hand up. And then exhale, bring your left hand, wrist or elbow outside your right knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Okay, so Madeline's actually going to take the bind here. So her left hand is going to reach through her right leg. Right hand reaches around toward the side of her body. Interlaces fingers. So this takes a lot of core strength, takes a lot of flexibility to be able to do this. But it's pretty cool once you get there. Take one more inhale, lift up. So again, I'm going to support here. Pressing into her back, making my leg a wall for her. As she exhales, twist a little deeper. Right. And then when you're ready, come out of the pose. Look back to center. And let's just do 2 more stretches here. So reach your legs straight out in front of you. Toes flex back toward you, heels pressing away from you. Sit up as straight as you can. This is usually the part where the yoga instructors say, like, move your butt out of the way. So they say what is flesh? Move the flesh out of the way. Just move your ass. Inhale, lift your arms up. And then exhale, reach your hands forward. Grab whatever you can. Preferably grab the outside of your feet. Most guys, they don't have the flexibility when they start off. So it's completely fine to bend your knees as much as you need to grab. The important thing here is that you're working the lower back in addition to the hamstrings. And if you're just reaching here and you can't touch anything, then that's no fun for anybody, right? It just makes you feel not good. So bend the legs if you need to. Pull your chest forward, and then you can actually walk your feet forward here. And you'll notice that you can get a little bit deeper. Okay? And then forward fold here. So let's make this a little bit more restorative instead of going for your edge. We're at the end, so relax. Nice job. So Erica is in a full sandwich mode here. Alright, and then release the pose. And we're going to move into, this is called Hero's Pose. You bring your knees about a little wider than hip width distance. Your heels come behind and then you kind of just sit back here. This is just really tight for me right here, so what I like to do instead, this is really good for the psoas here. So instead, I take a modification. I just do this, and I lean on my back, and it feels great. And especially because, thank you, right? And from here, you can press the right knee down toward whatever the front right corner of the room is, and then lift your hip up a little bit more, and you can relax off your shoulders. So get really deep into it, and especially because in all yoga, you're using your quads the whole time. Literally every pose, your quad is flexed. So this is a very important stretch to get at the end to really help relieve the quadriceps. Right? So Adam's showing you what he's using a towel right here, so it just takes some of the pressure out of the hips. And Madeline's taking variation.
Here's the block.
Oh yeah, you also have the block option here. So if you really want to take hero, you really want to take it. Sit on the block, knees wide, same way, and then just sit back here. And it's a nice passive pose, so you can actually relax here.
And thank you for watching today, Manful Yoga in association with Destination Fit in Austin. And thank you again for my awesome helpers, Adam, Erica, and Madeline of Black Sweater Yoga. Facebook.com/Manful Yoga, YouTube.com/Manful Yoga, Instagram and Twitter as well. I'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.